Let's do what we do and talk about it. Rejoining me now, Republican strategist Tripp Baird and Democratic strategist Keith Boykin. Thanks for joining us.
Good to be here, Jeff.
Tripp, we'll start with you. So the Republican Governors Association is meeting next week, and Sarah Palin will be there. What are her chances for 2012, do you think?
Well, I think she's probably one of the people they're talking about. I think what people like about Sarah Palin is she's a conservative who's not scared to be a conservative. I think what most conservatives out there have wanted and you know, party faithful in the GOP have wanted is someone who's willing to take on liberal institutions in this country and be proud of it. You know, I think what you're going to see out of Republicans going to the next Congress is a robust check against Nancy Pelosi and Harry Reid in the Senate. I think it's going to be much easier for them. You're going to see a lot of new conservatives, people that probably weren't so conservative, that were more pragmatic, all of a sudden kind of find religion here over the next year or two. And I think you're going to see a much more energetic Republican Party.
And Keith, when you look at the landscape of the Republican Party now, who are you most worried about?
I don't know that I'm worried about anybody. I think that Bobby Jindal looks good for the Republicans in the future. I don't think Sarah Palin is a threat right now, but she could reinvent herself and be an effective candidate in 4 years. I think that the Republicans have to worry about 2 or 3 things. First, you have to worry about the youth vote. The youth vote went 2-1 for Barack Obama. They're losing a whole generation of voters. You have to worry about the Hispanic vote, secondly. Hispanic vote also went 2-1 for Barack Obama. That's the fastest growing demographic population in the country. And thirdly, they have to worry about the southern states. Places like Virginia and North Carolina that used to be the Republican stronghold that are now coming to the Democratic side. Those are real worries for the Republican Party.
And so, Tripp, what does the Republican Party have to do here to get back on track and rebuild?
Well, I think they had to first, like I said at the beginning, not be scared of being conservative. I think I would disagree with Boykin on one point, would be that Virginia really had the bottom of the ticket helped Barack Obama. It wasn't Barack Obama winning Virginia. Mark Warner and Governor Kane have really created a conservative coalition there in Virginia where they're more of a blue dog state. I think once folks in Virginia get a view of Barack Obama and Nancy Pelosi for the next 2 or 3 years, I don't predict that state's going to go back in their favor. And you look at a lot of the House races, the 4 Democrats that lost were all supposedly blue dog Democrats. They got beat by Republicans. I think by 2012 you could see the House tightening up a good bit if Congress goes through with a lot of things they're going to go through. I think card check is going to be the biggest thing. I think it's going to wake up the business community and small business of America. And look, we've never gotten a majority of the Hispanic vote. We've never gotten a majority of the youth vote. Those things they turned out absolutely, but those aren't places we're gonna all of a sudden flip the switch.
I was watching Meet the Press. A Republican strategist on Meet the Press today, Republican, was saying that without the Hispanic vote, the math just isn't there for the Republicans to win a presidential election again. So how do you get those Hispanic votes? And Tripp, will start with you, then Keith, you can comment on that.
I think you make them taxpayers. You know, I think when I went around, certainly in the state of Kentucky and in Virginia, when I was working on some campaigns this cycle, you know, people who work for a living care and pay taxes care a lot about what their members do and say on taxes, and more importantly, like I stress, how they vote. And you know, Democratic members, by and large, Barack Obama is going to raise your taxes. Guarantee it. Write it down.
Oh
Tax
God.
increases on the marginal rates will go up. He will let the Bush tax cuts expire.
Tripp, the election is over. I think a lot of Hispanic voters would be
There's another one coming up there.
But let me just say something. I think a lot of Hispanic voters would be a little troubled, maybe insulted by your suggestion that they're not already taxpayers. I think that they know that the Republican Party scare tactics about Barack Obama raising their taxes are not true. If for most people who earn less than $250,000 a year, their taxes are not going to go up. And I think that the reality is that the whole divisive class warfare politics of the Republican Party has got to end. Republicans cannot become too obstructionist in the future, because if they do, it will actually hurt the party much more in the future. I think they've got to move forward toward reconciliation. The country wants change. They want a jobs program. They want health care. They want a solid energy policy that's not about drill, baby, drill. And I think that the Democrats have given a clear message, and the public has given them a mandate to make those changes.
All right, we'll stop the conversation there for the moment. I think this proves one thing, though, that it's always election time in U.S. politics, right? There's always one just around the corner, isn't there? Right. Keith Boykin and Tripp Baird, thanks so much for your time today.
Thank you.